Hello, hello. Thanks for clicking on our faces. We are here yet again to bring you another book of the month. And of course, we've been going on a theme, which is the book that inspired the movie. This month, of course, is Misery by Stephen King. And I did not pick it this month. This book was brought to us by the letter R, Raven. So, how's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing well. And Raven, tell us what drew you to this book. What made you pick it? So that's fine.
Okay. I love horror and um also I really like horror comedy. So I have a little brother and my Mima, shout out to my dad's mom. She used to watch horror and fantasy and stuff like that all the time. And she would always call my brother Mr. Man. So if you see she would get onto him and be like, "You stop it, Mr. Man." And then if you see the movie, you know that
Keep
like the
saying
lady
that.
does that. So then I finally just said, like, I would watch it with her all the time. And I said, let me just read the book years ago. This was years ago. Because I thought it was gonna be a horror comedy.
Okay.
But it was absolutely I know how you look at Aaron. It was absolutely nuts. So that's what got me like kind of into reading Stephen King. After that, I was just like, I have to got to see how awful this man is, how awful his mind works with all of his books. And so I have read several books of his since then, but then I forgot Misery. I remember like I was looking through my reading journal the other day before we talked last, and I was like, I wrote down that I really liked it, but I forgot why I liked it. Couldn't quite remember every aspect of the story. So then when we talked, I was like, this is a great opportunity to like dive back in again and like read it just with clearer eyes and knowing what it was about now. So that's why I brought it. And I will say it was definitely a different experience for me this time than it
Ooh.
was the last time. But I'm trying
Okay.
not to get into spoilers yet.
Yeah. No spoilers. No spoilers. I always forget to pull this up in the beginning, but here's a synopsis for those of you who, for whatever reason, have not heard of this book. Pause to read. But essentially, it's an author. He gets kidnapped or rescued, kidnapped by this crazed fan, and some scary stuff happens, y'all. Just read the synopsis and join us. Uh, but um, tell us, without any kind of spoilers, what would you rate this book? 5 being the absolute best book ever written, and 1 being absolute trash. Upon your reread, actually, I'm curious to know what would you rate it the first time you read it, and now that you've reread it, has that gone up or down? And what
Ooh,
would you say?
the first time because it just was so shocking, so shocking. I definitely would rate it a 4.5. I definitely wrote it down as one of my favorites.
Ah,
Um, and I
okay.
remember like only plot really drove that opinion for me.
Okay.
This time, I would say maybe like a 4. It went down a little bit for me.
Oh,
Because the plot, I'm like, okay, there's some parts you could have left. Like we didn't really need it. It didn't really drive it forward, but still a high rating because the characters. I noticed so much more about the characters this time, and it
okay.
was so good. So yeah, I guess a 4.
All right. Pretty high. 4 star from Raven. Now, E, I'm curious to know what yours are. Do you want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go.
Okay.
This was so I've seen Misery the film so many times, and Kathy Bates is just
Chef's kiss.
she
Chef's
is
kiss.
such a talented and skillful actress, and after reading this book, she was really perfectly casted for this character. Um, and so I was really excited to read this book. This is actually my first Stephen King book. I'm actually more
Ooh.
familiar with adaptations of his book into film or series. And so this was my first kind of foray into his actually written literature. It was very exciting. And I'm glad I started with this one. I feel like this was a pretty strong one. and can't wait to get into the highlights for me. So for my rating, I'm gonna have to give this like a 4.8.
Oh,
Oh,
This was close to perfection for me, truly.
yes. Okay. Okay.
okay. Okay. That's unexpected. Because for me, if Stephen King has one hater, it is me.
Yeah.
He has no haters, I am dead. Okay.
I respect
Because
it.
I've made several attempts, I'll say, to read Stephen King books in the past. I've tried the Dark Tower series, did not enjoy it. Recently, my fiance, who is an avid Stephen King fan, he has like a whole collection of Stephen King. He
Ooh.
tried reading me one of his short stories in this huge book of short stories, and I think it was called Earn or something like that, or In or something. I couldn't get into it either. It was so rambly. I said, "Can we get to the point, Stephen King?" It was rambling, right? So I wanted to give this one a try because it's the book of the month, and this was actually one copy of Stephen King's work that my fiance didn't have. So his birthday just passed, so I got him a copy of Misery, so he was reading
Oh, I
along
love
with
that.
That's so sweet.
and okay, let me start with the positives without spoilers. I think that this was the better. I think this was the best Stephen King book that I've personally read. It came together a lot better for me than his other books. But with that being said, I'm going to have to, without any spoilers, I'm just going to get into my star rating. I'm going to give it like a 2.8. I'm giving it a 2.8.
Oh, you wait just a minute.
I get a 2. That's basically a 3, so I'll give it a little 3-star. But between you and me, it's a 2.
I have
Stephen
got
King,
to
cover your
hear.
ears.
And it's funny because I live in Maine, so it's like Stephen King is like a big thing. Like everyone's like, "Oh yeah, Stephen King's from
Yeah.
Maine," blah, blah, blah. And I just can't with him. And I've never seen the movie, so after I finished the book, I went and I watched the movie,
Mhm.
and the movie was entertaining. I feel like I will say the book. I feel like the book was done better than the movie.
Mhm.
But there were certain things that the movie did better in the book. But we'll get into that when we get into our spoiler section, which is like right about now. So let me just go ahead and one.
Yes.
Hold on, we got a comment here that says that's because he was on cocaine when he wrote most of this.
Oh my gosh. Okay. That's exactly what I was gonna say. So I read his oh my gosh, and you can definitely see it too. So I was reading his memoir on writing, is what it's called. And he talks about like how he was a teacher, and then he started writing and his stuff just took right off. And then, which you can see because there are all these like, he writes so much, and also there are all these adaptations. I mean, you can tell he really, really blew up in the 80s for sure. But he talked about how that was like just it was so much pressure and everything because he had to keep going, and he was like on drugs all the time, and some stuff he couldn't even remember writing. And
Oh,
some
man.
of those other stories that I've written of him when he is supposedly in the throes of that, you definitely feel like, oh, yeah, he was like absolutely high in this chapter. And then this other one, like he was definitely withdrawing in this chapter. This whole book, the darkness of it feels like he was withdrawing so much when he was writing this book.
Okay.
But it makes a lot of that stuff hard to read. It makes a lot of his stuff hard to read. So like I don't like it, and I don't like Dark Tower either.
Okay.
I'm just like, this is too, it's just like what you said. I'm like, it's too rambly.
Yes.
And that's because bro needed to be in rehab and not writing a novel, but people kept like, giving them book deals. So they're just like eating it up because it's Stephen King, not because some of his stories are actually good. So I respect what you're saying.
Even in this book, though, he was rambling, child. Even this
He
whole
was.
part of freaking Misery's Return. Every time we got Misery's Return, I was like, God, why are we in Misery's Return?
Yeah,
What did you think about those, Aaron? I didn't like those sections either. I'm like, okay, I don't care about Misery. I'm not the crazed fan. I don't like the Misery
Yes.
books.
so I did have kind of a warning about the excerpts from Misery's Return taking up a lot of space in this book.
Wow.
But as it was happening, I guess I understood it, and toward the end, I think part of his commitment to keeping it in this book is partially for length, but also to give us sort of a yearning, the same yearning that Annie would end up having, wanting to know how it ends, because we get so much of the story, and we get so much of, like, I don't know, him giving Annie credit for a plot device she provides to him. And that kind of lends to his building understanding of Annie, and that she does have some cleverness in her.
A smidge.
Just a smidge. But I feel like I feel like he wanted us to be like, oh man, well now we're not going to know how it ends, and we're going to like feel this same something that Annie felt, but I didn't feel that, and I feel like he misconstrued that. That was like a bad call to keep.
Yeah, it was.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason why the movie didn't do it, because they were like, what the heck is this? The movie took it.
It definitely could have been trimmed for sure.
Every time it came on, I was just like, I just blinked. It's like, I couldn't tell you this. There was this on the prairie in Africa. He kept saying Africa all the time. I was like, is it in Africa?
That was really that and the goddess and stuff like that. It was like, those were the parts that I felt like, okay, I think in real life he probably is like in withdrawal or something, and I might be giving him too much credit, but I'm like, this is just weird, and it's not. It's just way too much stream of consciousness here, and I think you can like definitely with this book, because this is like this book. I think he's like 6 extremely popular books in. I think it feels like they're just like, yeah, give us another moneymaker, and his editors are not doing a good job of him. They're not like. They're not challenging him at all. They're just like, yeah, give us another one without cutting, because this book could have been half that length without Misery's Return.
Waste.
So I will say I did connect that we are supposed. The reason there's so much like stream of consciousness for Paul that we're invited into, and kind of his like inner dialogue as really developing a lot of lore around him before he learns the truth of it. But even then, still developing more, and she does become Goddess Annie because she is his god. She doesn't. He's trapped. So he's really starting to mentally break, and a big part of why I rate this book so high is because we're taken right along with him on that journey, that descent into madness. And something about that I can fully relate to. It really speaks to me. And I know that a big part of it is when people are experiencing a lot of solitude, especially if it's involuntary, we end up going down that journey with them. I go back again to My Sister the Serial Killer. The main character, she had a lot of psychosis happening because she was so alone and so lonely. And so with Paul Sheldon now, he's been forced into this this solitude by this kidnapping, and not only solitude, but kind of just being trapped in his own body and unable to move or do anything by himself. Um, he's infantilized by this kidnapping and by Annie, and that, I think, him being an intellectual and him being a writer and all of these other things all add up to, him just imploding really mentally, because he feels so trapped, that he feels helpless, and just is not used to feeling that way.
Now, I definitely got the sense of his like descent into madness, right? But I never really felt scared. I never really felt that he felt scared, really. It just felt like he was just, no, I didn't get that sense. I don't know. I felt like he just went straight into, I got to get out of here. Not so much that he was terrified, but more like, I need to leave. She's crazy, but I need to leave. But it wasn't, I didn't really get like the fear. I don't know if it's just me or what, but it just felt, I did get a lot of that. He's going mad, right? Even when he was having like this announcer voice in his head as he was going around, going around the house. But none of it really, there was no point in the story that I was just like, oh my God, oh my God, she's crazy. She's about to do this. And maybe because I'm familiar with the story, because it is, a Stephen King story that's like really well known. So I've always known that kind of what was going to happen. So maybe that.
Well, what about the foot?
The foot, I was surprised that she cut off the foot, because all the
I'm
time
saying, but you didn't feel the fear.
Kind of, but not really. Like, and I feel like that was more credit to the narrator, because I listened to it, than it was Stephen King, because that narrator was putting her foot in it. Let me tell you what, doing the thing.
That's wild to say.
Okay, that was the thing that right there. So when I like first, because I would just like watch, basically made for TV movies. This was just basically just like on TNT, and my grandma would watch, my mom would watch that all day. So it was like, when I first like saw the movie and everything, it was creepy, but Kathy Bates is a little bit funny, and then her saying all the time, she's like, you Mr. Man, and then it scared me a little bit as a kid, like when she does, because in the movie it's the sledgehammer, but then it's not as scary because it's not as permanent. And so so it was like a little bit funny to me. It was the foot thing in here that definitely like was like, this is not a comedy. This is absolutely horrific. And then so that was the first time. The second time reading it, when he's like talking about oh my gosh, it made me think about when I had my first daughter. It was an emergency C-section, and when I got out of there, the nurse, and she was so mean, and my family ended up getting involved. It was they like ended up like moving her, but she did not have my pain meds. It was awful. I was like, I don't even remember everything. I just remember her asking, like, I was like, it burns like where they cut me. And she was like, what's your, and my husband was like, she needs medication. And my mom was like, oh my God. Like, it was the whole thing. And she said, what is your pain level on a scale of 0 to 10? And I was like, I feel like I'm on fire. And I just passed out. But when I woke up, I had this awesome Caribbean nurse, and they had given me meds, and she said, I don't know why she would do something like that. That is so evil. And she would like have my medication every 4 hours or whatever. So,
oh my God,
when I read it this time, and he's like, it's like the wood is like piling onto his like legs or whatever, and he's like counting down the hours until he gets the medication. That really horrified me, because then I could really understand the pain in a way that I couldn't the first time. So then that would scare me, because I'd be like, oh my God, Annie, you got to bring his pills. It's gonna hurt. So knowing he was already in pain, and then when she chops the foot off, I'm like, he's already in pain. His knees already hurt, and then you're chopping his foot off. It was like so horrific.
Yeah, the foot thing
I should not be smiling. I should be crying. That was horrific, but it's entertaining.
The chop, I knew that the chop was coming, because I had already heard like over the past couple years that it's worse in the book, and that he does lose a limb. But I didn't know that he gets 2 things cut off. And that
they snuck that one in, didn't they? It was crazy. He's like, and I lost the thumb. What?
Yeah. with the electric knife. And then what? Okay, this is my problem.
Can
with
you
it.
imagine an electric knife versus?
That's crazy. That's wild. That's wild, right? But I wish they would have like it was described a little better because it was just like thrown in there. Like I'm like, hold on, did I miss something? Did they already cut off his thumb and I missed it? Then I had to like rewind. I was like, hold on, did they ever talk about cutting off his thumb? It's like he mentioned it in passing at first, and then they went back and kind of described it later. And like it was like just weird storytelling to me that I was just like, I wish he would have.
Oh, yes, I definitely wish that actually would have been like a good editorial note.
Yeah.
Like for him to be okay, the leg is cut off, and all this time he's been like going in these ebbs and flows of like the pain. The foot is cut off, he's like going through ebbs and flows of pain again, and it's still like him describing how bad it feels and how bad it hurts and the itch of like his phantom limb, and then describing the moment where she cuts off the thumb would have been really horrific. Like right then, instead of saying it later in retrospect, because then you could feel how he's like semi in pain, semi healing, and she sends him back into further pain.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been a good editorial note, girl.
Been, see, they wasn't. I don't know what happened, but and also, the book again was a lot gorier, as you guys mentioned, than the movie. There was a scene where she's described as like after she like finds the rat or kills the rat, and she's like licking the rat blood and stuff off of her fingers, and they didn't do that in the movie as far as I can remember. I just watched it for the first time over the weekend. And I wonder why they left that part out, because that was like really like, oh yeah, this chick is crazy.
Yes.
But
go ahead.
Do you think did he eat the rat? Because she left the rat in the room and he was saying how hungry he was and she'd been forgetting to feed him. And then he mentioned, oh, she didn't forget to feed me. And then it just kind of went on to the next chapter. Did he eat that damn rat? The bloody rat?
I didn't even think about that. I was just like, I think I thought like, oh, I hope he doesn't eat that. And then it just moved on. I didn't think about it. But
yeah, it just moved on.
Because the first time when she did the mop bucket thing, like fed or gave him water out of the mop bucket, he was so disgusted by it.
Yeah.
The second time with the rat, he didn't say much. So it might be like, oh, it doesn't. He's so mad at that point that it's like, it doesn't even bother me as much. I'm really hungry and I'm desperate.
Yeah.
In a way that he wasn't the first time. So I never thought about that.
I think he ate it, y'all. I think he ate it and he glossed over it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why I didn't go there with it. I really didn't.
He was saying how she left him without food.
He did.
I got to go to Reddit on this. I need to see.
Yeah, I do remember him mentioning it and mentioning that. Oh yeah, no, she left me something. All right, like implying that he interpreted her leaving it there as food for him, but I really didn't receive that he went ahead and ate it. And was that after the hobbling?
Trying to remember. I remember it was after or before. But I do know she was starving that man, and he didn't have no food, and she left a rat, and he said, "Oh, she did leave me something." And then this next chapter, so I'm like, fade to black.
So I'll say my top, obviously the hobbling and then the thumb cut were like top horrifying moments. But then, like as a second tier, I would say the killing of the ranger was horrifying.
It makes my legs feel like noodles just thinking about it. Oh
yeah, it was dreadful. And then you get secondly, I would say you get a hint that at some point we're going to end up in the basement. I really didn't want to end up in the basement from his first kind of description of it. And then when we end up in the basement and with the lights out, I was just so scared and horrified because of his very descriptive language around the rats, and just the idea of him having a healing limb, a healing I don't want to say nub, but kind of like a he's dealing with that down there with the rats. That really disturbed me. And then thank God when he woke up, it wasn't that, but the rat was like it was in his face nearby. That
Mm-hmm.
disgusted me.
Mhm.
And then I guess the third, second tier horrifying / gross out was the once they get in the fight, the story is burned up, and he keeps describing shoving the embered paper.
Oh, I wrote that down. Suck my
was
book.
like,
Suck my book.
I was like, oh my God. It was so disgusting.
It was
And I
so
felt
disgusting.
it. I
In
felt
more
like I could
ways than
feel
one.
it.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. I felt like I could feel like I was, part of me was like, girl, good for you. You know what I mean? Because by then I was like, I need him to not die here. And I need her to suffer badly.
Mm-hmm.
But also, that was disgusting.
It was
That was
nasty.
Oh, that was
really
awful.
dreadful.
It's always some
And
weird
his
sexual
sister
undertones.
died too. Oh,
Huh?
so many weird sexual undertones.
Yes.
That's why I could never finish it, because I
Yeah.
keep
I've
trying
heard
to,
about
but I
that one.
like saw some, yes, and when I heard about it, I'm like, maybe it's something, and then I'm like, no, I can't do it, and then I try
Uh-huh.
again and get a little further, and I'm like, I can't. I really
Same
don't want to read
with
about that.
with the Dark Tower, and I'm like, what is Stephen King's thing with like plus size women? He's describing them in his books in such weird ways that it's like sexual, but almost like it's like a weird commentary that he has. It's like he loves him, but he hates him. It's like pick a side.
It's the same inner commentary a lot of men have. He's putting it down on paper.
It's a repeated thing in his books. He's really struggling with this in his personal life, apparently. Because
he's narrow, so he probably has
narrow
a proclivity for the thicker, but he can't.
It's wrestling with it. He's like he can't accept it about himself.
Oh, I forgot this one. I didn't say it, did I? The cake, the birthday cake.
Wait, what about the birthday?
With the finger?
Ah!
Oh.
Horrible!
Oh my gosh, you keep
horrible. She was like, you're just lucky I don't make you eat. I was like, it was horrible. Oh my God, that birthday cake, yo.
I keep thinking
I wanted her to die.
Wanted her to die.
I just wanted him to take, because he had a pen or pencil at some point. I just really wanted him to stab her with it, but you need your thumb. You can't. You have to,
No, when he was practicing in the movie, trying to take the knife out
oh my gosh!
There's no way you can't. There was no. I don't remember, because I purposefully didn't rewatch the movie so that I didn't confuse the two for this. But I don't remember. Did he use the typewriter as a weight for weight training in the movie?
Yeah, he was training.
So smart. I thought that was so smart.
Yeah,
I definitely was like starting to confuse both, even though it's been a long time since I saw the movie. But reading it this time, I was like, wait, is the typewriter in here or not? Is it in here or not? And it never. And I actually was like, had to go back and reread a little bit to see how he was able to even get stronger, because like get strong enough to be able to like will himself or whatever after that first time of escaping the room, because I was in my mind thinking of the scene in the movie. Like, okay, yeah, he's gonna like start like trying, he's gonna show a little bit of resolve and try to get strong. But he was just doing little sneaky things in the book, like hiding weapons and the pills and all that other stuff. So that was a little bit different. Yeah, there was like the Paul Sheldon in the movie had a teeny bit more resolve earlier on in the story, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Which I guess you have to show that, because you don't have as many hours of a movie than like you do in a book.
Yeah.
And then sorry.
No. Go ahead.
Oh, my last bit about why I love this book is I really enjoyed how thorough Stephen goes into Paul's whole psyche, his past experiences, and how it's tied into his time here, which is essentially like a prison. And just all the ways that he is trying to rationalize what's happening to him and rationalize who Annie is and how they got to this point, by even crossing paths. And you know, early on, I realized that a lot of this is Stephen writing about himself. Like, I know that there's like this is a metaphor for him as a writer being forced to push out crap that maybe he doesn't really want to do, or maybe, you know, he has to keep selling this franchise, or he wants to do it. And just, I guess, you know, Annie is like, I don't know, his agent, or Annie is like his publisher forcing him to do that, and also his audience that wants this from him, and and it really lent to the character development in this book. I don't know how he was able to create Annie so thoroughly, but Paul's character was so well thought out and so well developed for me. I really, really enjoyed how he was able to kind of pour himself into this character, Paul. And then knowing that he was having issues with drug addiction at that time, and how that's directly reflected by Paul's experience with the Novaril. It's so well done. I just really feel like that's some great storytelling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can agree with that. I was wondering, how much of himself do you guys think he put into the book, like in the character? Because there's like, it clearly you have to make like the parallels. It's like, come on now, we gotta figure out. He put a little something of himself in there, but how much is the question? But I wanted to ask, since you both seen the movies and read the book, which do you prefer? Which do you think did it better? I gave my opinion. I think the book did it better, in my opinion, only because I do think that it did a better job of kind of fleshing out the characters a little bit more. And like, I felt more of Paul in the book than I did in the movie. So that's why I would say the book did it better. But I think the argument can be made for the movie because there's no return to misery in there. So there's also that.
I'm going to have to say the book as well. I'm going to have to say the book as well because there's a lot more violence. And you just really see, to me, there's a lot more character development. Absolutely with Paul, but kind of with Annie too. And there's something about your imagination, kind of having to visualize and create these characters in your mind, versus seeing them laid out plainly. I love movies, so this is like a big deal for me to be saying this, but definitely the book. And the book really, really does. I think part of it obviously is the violence, but a lot of it is Paul's inner character developing of Annie himself, kind of trying to comprehend her as a person, trying to understand every little expression and thing that she says and does. That really lends to the story here.
And him tearing her up in his mind, like he was like, "Oh, this
bitch."
Yes.
He ain't saying nothing out his mouth, but he was thinking some horrible things about. But Raven, the book or the movie? What do you think?
I think the book for the same reasons that y'all are saying. I think the book for the same reasons. The character development is just amazing. I want to make a case for the Castle Rock show. Have y'all ever seen that?
It's on my list. I just finished Widow's Bay on Apple, so I think I'm going to be open to a new spooky dooky show.
Yes, well, Castle Rock is about Annie, but like when she was young, like from the time she was a teenager till the time she was an adult, and they canceled the freaking show. That's what's crazy. They canceled the show. I wonder if they canceled. I mean, people loved it so much. I don't know if they canceled it because like King himself had other things going on. Like there are other like Salem's Lot comes out after that and stuff like that. But I still would say watch the freaking show. It's so good. And oh my gosh.
Is this recent or is it like an older show?
Yeah.
Oh, this is like
recent.
It's years. It's like a years. Like a 2019. I
Wow.
watched
Yeah.
it during the pandemic. I was like, what is this?
I thought it was
The
still
character
on.
development is incredible. The
Wow.
character development,
Okay.
I mean, it gives you like the Annie that's in this freaking story. And I say that would give it a run for its money if Castle Rock was based in this same timeline. If it wasn't pre Paul Sheldon Annie, but even still. But yeah,
Mm.
with the Misery movie, I think this book did it better.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if Castle Rock is coming back now. It
Oh,
only
please
has
tell
2
us
seasons.
because I'm
So
curious. I never even heard of
and
it.
that
Maybe
act-
that's why I was canceled the marketing because I didn't know a damn thing about this thing.
And that
Okay,
actress is
Hulu,
creepy.
2 seasons.
Ooh, okay, 2 seasons.
Oh yeah. Okay, it was on Hulu for 2 seasons. Canceled in November 2020, and it says despite positive on IMDb, despite positive reviews and strong fan following, Warner Brothers shifted their content focus to launch their new streaming service, HBO Max.
Wow,
So,
dang. I got caught in the crossfire.
yeah,
Wait,
so
is-
definitely
is-
watch it though.
Were you saying Salem's Lot is coming out with a series? Because they did a movie already on HBO.
Oh no. I was saying I think that I wonder if Castle Rock was canceled because like other things like
Because of-
Salem's Lot was coming out at the time. Like I wonder if they were like
Ooh.
shelving that stuff to do other King stuff that was happening.
Wow.
But yeah, I definitely say watch it and report back.
Yeah, because when he found
Definitely
that book of hers and she went in about her husband and all them killing she was doing with the roommate and everything, that would be interesting. I would want to. I would watch that. Let me go check that out. Let me add that to the watch list.
It does. It definitely it goes a little bit into her being on the run and doing some shady stuff at some hospitals. You're like, what is she doing?
And when she get that boy who was going to the oversight or the overlook hotel,
Overlook.
Yeah,
such a good crossover. Such a good.
I'm so glad
crossover.
you said that. I loved
Mhm.
seeing that shout out. That
Yeah.
was like,
that
okay,
artist
I
voice
see
still.
you.
Interesting. I can't. Man, now I'm interested to read kind of like The Shining because I've seen the movie. I really love the movie, and I know that there was like an issue between Stephen King and like the director of that movie. There was like they were bumping heads; they didn't like each other, and Stephen King did not like the direction of the movie. And it makes me want to read the book because I wonder what.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. That is my favorite King book, The Shining. Now
The
that
book
one
is your
I was
favorite?
saying, yes, and I love the movie. I love the movie so much. I'm telling you, but the book is different. The book is very different. I could see why he was mad at Stanley Kubrick, but I could also see why Stanley Kubrick was mad at King making the movie because both of them knew what they were doing. But I was in like a virtual book club during the pandemic, and we read it during the winter. And when I tell you, it had me feeling like I needed to up my Lexapro dosage. I mean, it was something, and I say, y'all should read it.
Oh, I'm curious.
I'm gonna add it to my repertoire.
All right,
my
now.
wish list.
All right, now. Well, if you like the video, please like the video and join us next month for next month's book. We don't know what it is quite yet, but once we know, you will know. But I can't.
Aaron's feeling the heat.
I can't tell you it is E Boogie's pick for next month.
No, you didn't have to say that.
So if you wait on it, ask her about it. So yeah, check us out then. Please like the video and subscribe and join us next month for another book. See you later. Goodbye.